Now, GJRB is visual. This is GJRB on YouTube.
And now, another GJRB schedule update. Here he is, Gary J. Russell.
Yeah, we're back. You know what? I wanted to do that right. So I just decided, let's do this right. So I decided, well, break and then come back for the last half hour and try to fix that what I did at the beginning the first time. So I decided to replay it. Let's do this right. So I decided, well, okay, I'm going to make up that. I'm going to take a break and then come back on with the ID and the opening again for the second half without, so I didn't really worry about the bumper music in the last half hour. So we'll have that bumper music coming in for that last ending. But we're taking off here. We're at the end of June, the week of June 18th. We talked about the fact I do sports page that week, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. That's finished. We're at week 3, or the week 3. Is it week 3? I think it was week 3. Where's it at now? Here it is. June week 3. I think I got okay. Here we go. June week 3, which really is week 4, which kind of leads into the 4th of July weekend. Let's see here. If I don't have the visual on this, I could always read it to you, but I know it's week 3 because we are on June starts on a June is a regular month because it starts on a Friday. No, it starts on a Wednesday, so it's midweek. So it's kind of teeter-tottering on being either a regular month or an alternate month. So I'm in midweek there, and so we decided that that would be week 3, which would be the 13th or the 17th. We moved a little bit here. Week 3. Now we're going to lead to the last week of June, and we're going to wrap it up with that part. So we're going to lead into the 4th of July weekend. Okay, so we're going to be doing that here real quick. Does my week 3, and I know I have because I got a way out there scheduled. So where is that week 3 at that I wanted? Okay, this has to be week 3. So what's the next week after that? Okay, let me see. I got confused now because I don't know how I did that or what I did. 2, 30th, the 31st, week 2. This is week 1. Okay, then we did week 2, which was the one we just did. We should be on week 3, which would be the 20. What was that? Week 3 would be the 20. Okay, 18th would be the 20th to the 24th. 20th to the 24th, and I thought for sure I had it on here. Let me check down the page and see if it ain't okay. Do not know where that's at. I should have that on there. If I do not have a visual, I'll read it to you on. I'll read that to you on camera or something because I cannot find it. It's week 3. Oh, here it is. I think this is what we're looking for. Yes, here we are. Okay, got it. We are now in week 3 of June broadcast. That's week 3. Go that right now. Week of our GJRB schedule update podcast starts the week June 20th, Monday. We're off the air, no broadcast that day. Production, ongoing projects, news and music rotation. I'll do some scouting, and we're back to a full schedule week of programming. Starting with June 21st, we'll have a Christian rock hits on GJRB and on Spreaker and KPRR starting at 11 a.m. Church services, it's from June 19th. Run live at noon. Christian rock hits, kind of a filler because sometimes our service is over early. And usually I like to fill that space between, let's say it's over at 1:40, 1:15. Then I'll have like about 45 minutes of music to fill before I get to the Positive Rock Show. So the Positive Rock Show will be at 2 o'clock, Twin Spin Tuesday that week. Usually about the third week of the month, we do Twin Spin Tuesday. And then that will follow at 5 o'clock with some more Christian rock on our GJRB LPFM station. And we'll do some more Christian rock at 5 o'clock. Usually about an extra half hour nonstop Christian rock. So we stay on the air until like about 5:30. Okay. And continue broadcasting. We'll just like stay on the air until 5:30. And, continue broadcasting. So, that's how we do that. Now, as we get back into it, the next day, June 22nd, 2016, go on the air at 12 o'clock noon Central Time for Up and Coming Favorites. That's with GJRB online in our other GJRB frequency on 87.7. That occupies the same frequency as the Positive Rock 87.7. This is KGRB. This is the official GJRB Spreaker radio station, Spreaker terrestrial version of GJRB online on Spreaker. This is the station that brings you most of our GJRB Spreaker programs when they're not available on any of the other stations. And I'll explain that to you later. It just means that we just have an extra GJRB station on the terrestrial dial at 87.7 that carries GJRB programs only. And that's just about it. And we're going to start that off anyway, like I said before. And then at 12 o'clock noon, a couple hours of up-and-coming favorites. And then it's Yuri J in the afternoon, and that is a great show. New music, emerging artists, all day from 2 to 5. Take requests even, and we use the information, put you on the air sometimes. News at the top of the hour for about like a couple of minutes. A few minutes, usually about before the hour, kind of like the way radio used to be. I'm just doing personality radio there. Okay. And it's pretty cool. Take a little bit of, like I said, phone calls and sports page every hour. It's just kind of fun. And music, share information. And then usually towards the last hour and a half, nonstop favorites till the end. At about 5 o'clock. So about maybe 4 o'clock, we go to nonstop favorites to the end for like 2 hours of nonstop favorites. So you'll love that. Then we just kind of go off the air. Thursday, June 23rd, we're off the air. That's a day where we do nothing but production and production week wrap up. On June 24th, we're back on the air here on GJRB Online on Spreaker for the last 7 days. That'll be a recording of the last 7 days on June 22nd, okay? So I'll be recording that at the Lincoln Way McDonald's and then bringing it to you live at noon, followed by Way Out There. Now, this is going to be heard on GJRB's FM frequency, 87.7 KGRB. Will be back on the air that day for that broadcast. We're going to be on 87.7 KGRB back on the air that day for the last 7 days and Way Out There. And that'll be June 24th from 2 to 5 p.m. We'll be broadcasting that day. Okay. Saturday, June 25th. The last 7 days, that is just to be the broadcast that we carry live, okay? Then we'll have whatever Bible studies available that week. We'll probably be into April, and we'll probably be caught up likely will probably be carrying the most current Bible study that week, followed by a podcast upload encore presentation of 002 that features the music of Woody Herman. Great show. So we're going to have an encore podcast in that program leading up to our brand new show coming up in the fall, looking at 1945. So we're going to be podcasting that, re-uploading that a couple of times. Swing Time 002 encore broadcast of the Swing Time show. Followed by my live Swing Time favorites. That's where I play some of the best of songs from the past Swing Time shows and just playing your favorites. So if you have a request, email me, GaryJ65@yahoo.com, GaryJ021361@gmail.com, or just call me on the GJRB cell. And we'll put you on the air, and you can request your favorite Christian worship songs, or rather your Swing Time favorites. Okay. All right. Well, we're heading into the final week of June, so let's kind of hustle through this. And then we're going to take a program break real quick. The last week in June leads to the 4th of July weekend. That is production ongoing projects and scouting and editing for the weekend podcast. Rush Limbaugh on Tuesday, June 28th. Now, that's an add-on. This is an add-on of a Gary Russin program because I have been feeling, I went through this yesterday, that there wasn't enough Gary Russin programs. Now, yesterday's Gary Russin program was a good show, but there's like a big lull between those shows, and it seems like there's no Gary Russin program for weeks. And I tried to pencil that in. So this is an extra Gary Russin program. This is an extra Gary Russin program, which will be airing on June 28th at 2 o'clock Central Time. Okay. Production week wrap-up will be on the 29th. The 30th will be another one like that. Bible study will be recorded that night. Up-and-coming favorites on July 1st until 2 o'clock, followed by Gary J's radio, television, and movie classics. Like I said, great show lined up. Trivia, classic TV clips, all for you on that show. Radioland on July 2nd, nonstop classic old-time radio for 3 hours from noon to 3, followed by Crooners. The Crooners. This is a debut broadcast. This will be heard on GJRB Online and our memory station. It plays a nostalgia. Memories 107.1 and GJRB Online Memories 107.1, all carrying those programs. That's July 2nd. Okay. That's going to do it for the schedule, and I'm going to take a program break right now. As you will notice, I was trying to get that all set up for you so that you can see our program schedule offhand and get an idea of what's going on our GJRB programming. So just to let you know about that. So I'm going to take a program break, and then when I return, we'll do final comments and wrap up our GJRB schedule update podcast. So just to let you know about that. So we'll be right back with the conclusion of our GJRB schedule update in just one moment. It's going to be hot on GJRB with new shows and returning favorites and more on your broadcast days. Featuring new shows with rock and roll oldies from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Introducing the Crooners, featuring great singers like the Rat Pack, Perry Como, Andy Williamson, Frank Sinatra. GJRB has a new music format based on the old up-and-coming show, playing consistently on GJRB. Gary J in the afternoon, Bluegrass Jubilee, Gary J's Blues House, all back. It's a freestyle summer starting in June on GJRB. It was the year World War II ended, and the troops came home, and the music was fabulous, with big hits from Perry Como, Judy Garland, and the Andrews Sisters. The year was 1945. Listen to the year in music on the next Swing Time. I'm Gary Russin, and I'll be featuring the biggest hits from that year, along with trivial information about the prices of items such as groceries, the news events, the culture of 1945 on the next Swing Time. After 1 year, the wait is over. Now join Pastor Ron Johnston and a panel of men and women to discuss the news and how it lines up with Bible prophecy. In this world of chaos and upheaval, this is the program that puts it all into perspective. How will we survive? God only knows. So trust Him and listen to the last 7 days. Uploaded as a podcast or live every third Friday at 12 o'clock noon Central on GJRB. Now, talking to my wife on the phone, she's at the baseball game, the Clinton Lumber Kings. My grandkids were singing there today. Unfortunately, I had some work to do today and some important stuff, and they couldn't fit me anyway in their smaller vehicle. So it was good that I kind of stayed back anyway because take care of the dog and do different things. But I wanted to get this podcast in today, so that is one of the reasons too why I'm doing this. So as we wrap up our GJRB Schedule Update podcast, we're going to kind of reiterate some of the things we got coming up on our program schedule as for now. So I thought what we'll do in this last 15 minutes is look at our schedule for the again and pick up that final part of the schedule that I was on. So I'm going to wrap that up while I had the chance once again, so that you see what we've got coming up on our schedule. Actually, you know what? We've seen it already. I'm just going to go ahead and close that out because I believe we're done with that. So, but anyway, yeah, that up that weekend. We're going to be doing that. That's the last broadcast, but we got way out there coming up. I've got a lot of production. I got a lot of stuff and toward our summer broadcast. So going on, and so this last 15 minutes, I want to reiterate some of the important information that I brought about you on the first half hour. First off, we want to start with the public site. If the public site on our GJRB is full to put any more podcasts, the podcast that I promised you for a lot of the programs will be on our SoundCloud tube. So right here on the GJRB TV YouTube channel, if you don't get it on Spreaker, you'll probably see it here. So you'll be able to listen to it, okay, or view whatever, okay. So just to let you know about that, we have a full podcast, and we have no room broadcast on SoundCloud as well, live. I think I can do that. I've heard you can. So I could do that, and there'll be various other things I can do. But otherwise, some of the programs will be pre-recorded, and a lot of them will be airing at and like I said before, all programs are subject to change. All schedules that you just saw can change at the last minute. And this is due to either family emergencies, or the schedule on the podcast is too full, or something just comes up that I can't broadcast that day. If I'm behind on production, as I've told you before, the production trumps live broadcast. That means that if my broadcast If a production is too overwhelming, too much to do, I will cancel a broadcast in favor of production. Okay, so as you know that I've said it before, I've done it before, where I cancel a broadcast because I have production to do, and usually I will reschedule that broadcast, and I'll pencil it in the schedule. Remember, this is GJRB's Freestyle Summer. That means that programs that you see scheduled might not always fall on that schedule. We might have to move it once in a while to circumvent other programs that I planned on putting on that I talked about. Gary J's Radio Television Classics and Movie Classics. I want to do another show. I want to do more Gary Wrestling programs. I was trying to circumvent some Gary Wrestling programs on here because I have a big lull between the show yesterday and a show that won't be on until July. And I said, no, I don't want Gary Wrestling program off the air until July. There's going to be more Gary Wrestling programs. So I added a Gary Wrestling program, a couple of them as a matter of fact. Now let me see what date that was that marked. Yes, July 6th. I got a Gary Wrestling program scheduled for July 6th. And I scheduled a Gary Wrestling program tentatively for July 29th. July 29th, and I don't think I put it on there. I think I did. Not sure. Let me take a look at that. July 29th. June 29th, not July 29th. June 29th, excuse me. I mean, July 29th, 28th. I'm sorry. June 28th. June 28th is a Tuesday. I added that Gary Wrestling program, as I said earlier. That's an add-on. I just added that show. Okay, that's going to be on tentatively Tuesday, June 28th at 2 o'clock Central. We're going to have Rush Limbaugh that day on our 9-foot signal, Talk FM 108. We're followed by the Gary Wrestling program, and it will only be heard on Spreaker, on GJRB Online, the Gary Wrestling program. Only the other programs, as I mentioned before, are only heard on our 9-foot FM signal, and that is Talk FM 108, KGRZ LP FM. Our part-time 9-foot FM signal, which is only on the air 2 or 3 times a week, and it's programming that is national. Now, I want to make a mention of that before I close off because I wanted to say something that I really wanted to iterate here about that. And that is, I want to do more stuff with the FM stations local too. I have a lot of local programming that's not heard on Spreaker that I like to broadcast. So a lot of times I have those on the air more often. But some of the GJRB programs will also be rebroadcast on my 9-foot FM signal. Talk FM 108 has stuff like on the weekends. I rebroadcast radio, television, and movie classics, and Swing Time on 107.1. I have a rebroadcast of all my programs that I have on Spreaker. Original programs which air on my 9-foot FM signal on 107.9. I do all those. And I air those. And those get on the air on that 9-foot signal. So I have more original programming. That includes Way Out There, which is heard on my 9-foot FM, Talk FM 108 on the weekends. I run that along with a conspiracy show and George Norrie and Coast to Coast. I have those on, and Art Bell, Somewhere in Time, which is a really good Saturday lineup. It's an alternate Saturday lineup than what I have with the 9-foot with my with our partner station KROS. I don't always like to simulcast local stations. I like to use my FM frequency for original programming. So sometimes I do that. I'll just rebroadcast all my Talk FM, my 9-foot signal, like the Gary Wrestling program, sometimes on Fridays. I got one coming up. I think I showed you that. That's going to be coming up. That's coming up in July, actually. July 15th. That's a Friday. That's a Freestyle Friday, and that's going to be a hangout show right here on GJRB TV. We're going to do another hangout show, but it won't be till July 15th. We're going to do another one. July 15th, and I'm going to add an extra one, which is going to be the combination Gary Wrestling program Way Out There show. I got that coming up again for a show. So I'm going to be shifting programs around as part of the GJRB summer. So some programs I'm going to sneak on that were on the schedule. Those are extras. And the extras are the Gary Russ and Gary J in the afternoon was going to be an extra for a while until I circumvent that for the fall season. I want to have as many of those programs as possible. So I'm going to be circumventing those in. It's a freestyle thing, whatever, whenever, whatever. I'm also adding more Way Out There shows are going to be on. Gary Russ and Way Out There show. I'm going to try to line up guests. I'm also going to take a portable camera out. Remember, I told you about that in our promos. I'm going to be taking a camera out among the Clinton people, and I'm going to be interviewing people. And I want to do that really bad, so I'm going to be taking the camera out. I have a portable camera that I can upload videos onto the computer, and then we're going to air them right on the Gary Russin Hangout show, the Gary Russin program. Hangout version. We're going to air those. I'm also going to air them on the radio side because I can play the audio. So, there you go. And I'm going to have a lot of fun. We got some great programming here. Now, I know a lot of you people, I've been looking on my GJRB public site. I've seen a lot of hits, so we're getting viewers. I've seen it on, I'm talking first about the GJRB public site. That's the Spreaker. I've been getting a lot of listeners on there. 6 hits on part 3 of the Gary Russin program. I think it was 6 hits. So I'm getting hits on my programs. But I want to get and attract more listeners. And the way to do that is to get more programs on the air and get this promoted. Okay? So that's the plan. Okay? Now I'm wrapping up. I'm closing up. I got about 3 minutes and 7 seconds on my Spreaker site. So I'm going to call it the end of this podcast for today. We're going to wrap up the podcast. I want to thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed the GJRB Spreaker public site combo and the GJRB TV YouTube channel schedule update podcast. That you watched it, and I'm glad that you get an idea what programs we've got on the air, and that you catch us, and I hope that you do. Like I said before, that's it for today. That's our GJRB schedule update podcast. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you want to watch this over again, or if you have any questions regarding programming, or you have program suggestions, or you would like to be a guest on any one of my programs, I would love to hear from you. Drop me a line, GaryJ65@yahoo.com, or GJRB TV here on YouTube. Send me a message here on YouTube. You can send me it here, or you can send me it on my GJRB public site on Spreaker. So just to let you know about that, you can do that. And I'd love to hear from you. So please do join me. And thanks for watching. And we'll catch you soon for another edition of Gary J's Radio. Thank you for tuning in. And join me for another edition of our GJRB Schedule Update Podcast. Have a great night, everyone.
Russell.